Welcome to the Full Dive Gaming Podcast, your weekly,
every week
VR podcast. And
Or
it's only been
biannual.
a very short hiatus since our last episode, but we are back and we are here to talk about all the things in VR. I'm JayBratt, a VR YouTuber.
I'm NatBratt, a VR enthusiast.
And I'm Assassin32, a VR YouTuber who's kind of okay with what's happening. It's going to be okay.
Everything is going to be all right. That should be the slogan of pretty much everything in the world right now. If you haven't been with us before, we are here thanks to Asterion Products. They make VR stuff. It's changed over the years. They had some gorgeous VR stands. They're doing some merch, repping a sweater. If you're here on the video version on YouTube, if you're listening to us on Spotify, we are the number 3 VR podcast in the world. If you believe that, I'm not sure I do. And we're hanging out. I'm in my new jersey that Meta sent me right before they dropped a bomb on the entire VR space. And we got Assassin32 in the official Full Dive sweater over there, or
So
jersey.
cool.
Jersey.
Over there.
Jersey.
Uh,
Not Jersey Shore.
We're going to talk about some news. We talk about the games we're playing, what's going on in the VR space. We got some crazy new AR. I don't even know if you call these AR. Some glasses, screen things that we've been playing with too got sent to us. We're going to talk about. So before we do all that, probably the biggest news, the most important thing we should talk about is Meta is cutting back just 10% of what they're doing in the VR space. Assassin, what do you think?
I'm kind of okay with it on some levels. I mean, some of it bothers me and that's a little scary, but it's going to be okay. I mean, 10%, what they're cutting is 10%, but that's billions.
Yeah.
And it's
10% a lot.
1,500 lives that got affected. But as far as the game studios they're shutting down, and if you look at what they've shut down, they weren't producing a ton of stuff anyway. And some of the games, Asgard's Wrath is an amazing game, but how many of us have played it all the way through?
Yeah, it's
Not
true.
me, but it is awesome.
For those showing up and needing a little bit more context, basically after an unsurprisingly low Christmas season, at least versus other years, Meta has said AI is where we're at and we need to back off on our investment in VR, which for years has been way more than it should have been. For what the VR space was, with if you got 10 million people bought Quest 2s and you're spending $1 billion a year or more, yeah, that's a way over investment. But when they came into the space in the first place, they dropped the Quest, the price way below everything. Everyone said it monopolized the industry, cut out all everyone else. PSVR couldn't keep up. Steam, I mean, the index was good for PC users, but it wasn't going to sell nearly the same percentage. And I believe Nat had some big opinions in those days.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. I did not like that Meta was taking over everything. I wanted there to be more opportunity for others to get involved. And, we've seen some good stuff. Like original PSVR 1 was awesome. There's other good headsets out there. And I just didn't like that Meta was taking over everything. I don't like seeing people getting laid off and stuff, and like certain apps like Supernatural is getting like kind of shut down because they were very funded by Meta, and that really sucks. Really liked Supernatural. So Supernatural, for those that don't know, is a like fitness game. Like they have like boxing and stuff, and it's very polished and nice. They have coaches. Really sad to see that go. So I think it's more like I'm sad to see the effects that are happening. I'm glad that there will be opportunities for others to kind of like step up to the plate.
Yeah, if Meta came in and they dropped the Quest at $299 back when every other VR headset out there had at least $1,000 investment between either a PS4 and a PSVR or a PC and a VR headset, how did anyone keep up or compete? They didn't. And people bought these things like they were cheap consoles, regardless of whether the person really wanted VR or not, or even knew what it was. Kids had these under trees. Businesses gave them away at their raffles and stuff because they go into a store during COVID time. The Xbox had sold out, the PlayStation sold out, and there's these $299 Quests. They're like, oh, let's buy 10 of these and give them out to the employees. And all of a sudden, there was millions of headsets out there with people that really weren't passionate about VR, and tons of people entering the space thinking, oh my gosh, look how many headsets have sold. I can $1 million in this industry. And it took the passion project that was VR before all of this, turned it into kind of a quick money-making scheme. And tons of the wrong people entered the space. It made this big bubble. And basically now what it feels like is the bubble's popping. And all of the people who came, whether they were the passionate people or not, a lot of them are getting wiped out because Meta bought up a bunch of studios and ended up eventually closing a bunch of them, or is now wiping them out. So there's really a couple ways to look at this, though. One, people had flourishing jobs for the past couple of years and now they got to go find something else. Or are they just now losing their job that, they probably would have never had if Meta hadn't injected all this money in the first place? So it's a tricky position to be on either side, but ultimately right now it's just left everyone in the VR industry scrambling, worried about the future. Tons of people don't have jobs. Tons of studios are cutting back in what felt like already a niche industry that was kind of on the rise. And it's now making everybody question, well, is it just now completely dead? And is everyone after AI and smart glasses instead?
But I think what people are missing though is Meta is not the entire industry.
Yeah.
And the studios that Meta owned were not the entire industry. There's tons of great studios out there making really amazing games. And when I look at the list of studios that have been shut down or are being shut down, I don't really play those games. So for me personally, it's not going to affect me directly. And then the other thing we have to think about is this has been happening for a while.
Yeah.
2024, they shut down Ready at Dawn. So Lone Echo and Echo Arena got shut down.
Sad.
We kind of forget because it happened while we were on hiatus, but they decided that they're not going to be farming out Horizon OS to a couple of different headset manufacturers. So Asus is not going to get Horizon OS, and they've been backing off slowly along the way, and then now it's a bigger chunk.
It's just so hilarious because I just have to talk about Mark Zuckerberg, and just why is he doing crap like that? Like, oh my god, you guys, next thing's gonna be VR. It's gonna be so awesome, and look at what the future could be, so cool. And then he's like, actually, AI is the future, and that's gonna be really cool. And we're gonna all wear these glasses. Yeah. What is the next freaking thing gonna be? These freaking billionaires with all their money and just they can just do whatever they want, and then it affects people.
And that's the thing with Zuck is he owns it. He's the one guy. He wakes up tomorrow and he says, I want to double what we're putting into Meta, and he can. Or he can say, I want to cut it in half, and he can. Mm-hmm. And right now it's AI and glasses. And I think they were a little slow getting going on AI, and now he wants to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's there's so many ways you can blame all this on whoever and however and how we got here. But ultimately, when you have 10 mega corporations kind of running everything, if you look at it, Google,
what kind of podcast is this right
Meta,
now? Anyway.
Everyone's trying to be okay, what's the next big thing? Because it's so weird being in the corporate business world. It doesn't matter if you made $100,000 last year or $1 billion. This year you have to make more.
Yeah.
So all of these giant corporations are what's the next big thing that's going to change the planet? It was the internet, it was electricity, it was cars. What's the next big thing? And everybody thinks AI is this next big thing. So for a while, Mark was kind of alone and thinking that the metaverse was the next big thing. And that's why they changed their name to Meta. That's why they kept trying to make the Quest not a gaming headset. It was supposed to be this device that just took you wherever you wanted to go and did whatever you wanted to do in it. And everybody goes, that probably wasn't really what VR is or is going to be. And now AI is this new thing. Well, they're just pivoting. But what people don't, maybe when you're at that level, it's hard to see. When you pivot, you are affecting the lives of probably thousands if not millions of people, though, because it's not just the people at Meta that lost their jobs, which was tons of them in the Reality Labs division, but they were supporting tons of VR studios that were expecting this year over year grant money to make their projects. There was a Batman Arkham 2 that was supposed to be in development, and that whole studio was I don't think they wiped the whole studio, but they canceled the game and wiped some of it.
Big rumor on Harry Potter too. Harry Potter was coming to VR and they cut that.
And now it's gone too. So yeah, it is tough. And I hope that a lot of these people, we're VR people here too. It will in some way probably ripple effect us. And I hope for everybody to find, where can they go next? But it also felt like this reckoning to me was coming for a long time. We knew that Meta couldn't keep investing this kind of money. And if the technology didn't absolutely take off, which it's not going to take off that big, it's a chunky thing on your face. Most people aren't going to adopt that until it becomes just a little pair of glasses that fit your face. So they were betting too big for too long. And the bet is it hasn't completely fallen apart. But it's time to say, okay, what's realistic here?
To me, I think they're trimming the fat.
Yeah.
I think they're trimming the fat, and maybe this will all be stronger when we come out of it. I wonder if some of this, honestly, is AI taking some jobs.
Probably.
Some of this could be AI. Some of this could be kind of what's going on with the global economy and tariffs and all those kinds of things. Some of it is they've been losing billions every quarter, billions of dollars, and they want to start making money. So also with all of this, the Quest 4 is going to not be a loss leader for them. They're actually going to try to make a profit off that thing for the first time. So the $299 headsets
That's
are
gone.
no longer going to be a thing.
Yeah. Good thing Quest 3 is good because
Quest 3 is real good.
it is good. But I am excited. Because, you know, all these people, it sucks that all these people are losing their jobs and stuff, but like all these people have all these expertise. Maybe they'll, you know, fill in the gaps. They'll start their own paper company and Office reference. And maybe, you know, we could see some good things coming from this and actually see VR moving forward again instead of just getting more like mobile, and like kind of a lot of crappy games with some good games, but like
it seems like they're cutting out the bottom low end stuff and the super high end stuff. Like it seems like maybe we won't get AAA games, but maybe we won't get this slop that we see every time you turn on the Quest headset and you're seeing Horizon Worlds games that you're not interested in. They're just forcing it on us. So maybe we'll get caught in the middle with games we really want to play.
that would be nice.
We don't have a pair, obviously, but I would love to have a pair of alternate reality glasses where you look and see what VR would be like if Meta never entered the space, because we had wired headsets and we were okay with it because it was all we had. We had bigger, better games, it felt like, before all of this. Like we probably would have seen a little uptick. There wouldn't be 10 million VR headsets in the wild, but maybe there would be 3 instead of, you know, 1 or 2, whatever it was, and things would be a little better every year. But Meta came in and they put all this money and swelled the industry like crazy and made it look like this thing it really wasn't yet.
Yeah.
And with that came all the mobile games, all the free-to-play games, tons of garbage that just filled the store and took it over. And these super cheap headsets meant ultimately tons of kids got them. Tons of kids ended up with them. And so these games, there's this new game, I don't know if you've seen it, UG, that is like the new hot game taking over the whole store. Like it in months has far surpassed Gorilla Tag's reviews and Animal Company's reviews. It's like this gorilla based game where you hatch dinosaurs and ride them, and like all of that feels to me like a byproduct of these really cheap headsets getting thrown out into the world, all these children ending up with them and needing something free to play, where back in the day we hung out with a lot more of an older audience in VR, people who had the money to buy the more expensive headsets and deal with the cables and all of these things. And we'd probably have a much more mature VR audience that's much smaller, but maybe with much better titles, rather than this just crazy nonsense that's taken over the whole industry, honestly.
It seems like the fluff is going away. It seems like the VR industry is going to be much more easy to figure out going forward. You know, 6 months from now, we'll know where VR stands because there won't be subsidized studios and games and headsets. It'll just be what it really is. And we'll have Steam Frame.
Yes. And the people who are passionate, hopefully, about making the games, because they know it's not somewhere you can come make millions of dollars. That was the difference in the beginning. It was people who came in because they wanted to create something good in the hopes that it could do well, but they knew no matter what, it was unlikely they were ever going to make millions, where people throw together a Gorilla Tag clone, put cosmetics in it, and people are literally making millions of dollars off these.
Yeah.
Which is crazy that's possible with some of these just
gotta target the kids to make your money.
That's a solid point. There might have been some game developers out there that were flat game developers, and Meta's throwing money at them, and they're like, let's go make VR, but they're not passionate about it.
Right.
And they don't know what they're doing. So we get tech demos instead of full game. Maybe from now on we get full games, full real games.
And what it also changed was it changed the perspective in the industry. So like in the beginning, Meta loved Supernatural because Supernatural was an app that got people in VR, not necessarily for gaming, but it got them to get back in their headset every day. And the retention times were longer than everything else. And they go, oh my gosh, Supernatural, I don't know the actual figures, but they go, oh my gosh, Supernatural's making hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is our gem. Well, guess what? Gorilla Tag comes out and it's making millions. Supernatural at this point is probably making $200,000 of dollars. It's making more than ever was. It was climbing, but suddenly a $200,000 game versus millions or something else, you immediately put all your attention there.
Yeah.
And it takes me back. We talk about stuff like this because, you know, we both do YouTube. It's like the people who were making really good, high quality videos, they make one heap of meme garbage and it gets millions of views. And they go, that's my success route. Well, you were making something you were passionate about before that and that you loved and you put in the real work, but you saw a quick road to the top, and the quick roads to the top, in my opinion, never come.
No. And I refuse. I refuse. There are games that have come out that I look at and I'm like, this one's going to go nuts. And I I'll cover it, but I'm not going to stream it. I'm not going to play it.
Soon it's all you'll be, and it's all the meta stories.
Yeah. Well, and that's my thing with these fickle billionaires, because they're like, oh yeah, like this is the new next cool thing, blah, blah, blah. And like you're saying, it's like, ooh, money. And then they crash and burn because all they want is money, money, money. And they're not looking at the big picture. They're not looking at what can even make money in the long term or be good. All they want is, ooh, new shiny money, gimme.
It really does feel like one day Zuck got an Oculus headset on his head.
Yeah.
And just like the three of us, he lost his mind and went, I want to make this. But he's got the billions to actually do it. Mm-hmm. And he's moved on a little bit from VR, but he's still covering it. I still think it's going to be okay. And I still think like Supernatural, maybe they changed their entire system instead of a monthly fee to have the game. Maybe you buy the game and there's tons of DLC that comes with it. It's not going to be constantly developed the way it has been.
That was what was.
It was really nice when they'd come out with new song packs and different things
songs
to keep
you
it fresh.
knew and
and again, polished.
It takes us into a weird conversation. We probably shouldn't go too far down this road, but we brought up Steam and the Steam Frame, the VR headset they're now going to drop. But it also, you have to remember, like obviously people talk a lot of crap about billionaires, but at the end of the day, most of them have a board of directors they answer to, investors they answer to. They have a whole room full of parents they have to listen to. That's one of the reasons Steam is so unique. It's one of the biggest billionaire companies in the world that's not publicly traded or owned. It's privately owned. Mm-hmm. Gabe Newell still owns all of it. And don't quote me on all that. I'm not sure the specifics, but I believe that's all correct. And so when he or whoever is in charge says, I'm going to put out a Valve Index at $1,000, I'm never going to lower the price on it for 6 years. It's going to work. We're going to make good games are going to be put out on it, and I'm not going to cheap out because some board of directors says you need to make Gorilla Tag games that make us this money so we can pay back. Someone in that position can say, screw you, I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to keep it the way I want it to be. So the minute you end up with all these people directing your life that only want money, guess what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Exactly what's happening to all these people in these positions. Like I believe at the end of the day, Zuckerberg actually cared about VR and liked the idea of it and wanted the reality of it, but too many things started making too much money and the whole store just turned that direction.
Yeah.
Whether that was his decision or not, who knows? But ultimately, as a company, of course they're going to say, support these games. They're finally making us millions and you've been putting billions of dollars in this, so we need to make our money back. They're freaking out.
Yeah.
So it's believed that a lot of this pressure came from the fact that he's getting heat all the time about putting all this money into the metaverse and his vision there when very few people believed in that vision in the first place.
At some point, the major stockholders are going to get frustrated and say, you can't continue to just lose billions on this. Yeah. So they're going forward. They want to be profitable. And if they are, we're all going to win.
Yeah. We think the billionaires do whatever they want all the time, but they have people they answer to probably with a lot more heat than any of us have ever had. And that's got to be awful. That's why if you're going to be a billionaire, be like Gabe Newell and build your company. Don't ever go public. Don't ever sell it. Stay in control. Yeah. Make it your vision. But it's hard.
Make a Steam
advice
frame.
To the billionaires.
Yeah. Make a Gabe cube.
Yes. But speaking of the Steam frame, we have a Steam Deck sitting here. For those of you listening and you don't know, if you somehow don't know what that is, what is a Steam Deck? You're the one who owns this.
Steam Deck is a handheld console that runs all of your Steam games. So it's like a Game Boy on, I hate it, on steroids. I hate it when people say that. But yeah, it's a mobile gaming device that connects to your Steam library. So pretty much your entire Steam library is available on. And Jay got a set of, they call them AR glasses. I don't, it's screen mirroring as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But what it does is you can connect it with USB and then now put a very large screen in front of you. So you're not playing on this smaller OLED. You're playing on, I don't know how big this one gets, but like 200 inches is kind of a thing.
They always say with these glasses, and we have a VR audience here, so most of you should understand when I say, like, when you watch YouTube on your Quest, you see a screen inside of your Quest. That's exactly what you're getting with these glasses, except the screen is stationary and it doesn't, like, you can't move your head around away from it. But they always say it's like 100 inch screen or 120 or 200 inch screen. But like, if I go put these on in my other room where I have a 100 inch TV, oftentimes you realize that 200-inch TV, you must be standing 70 feet away from it to be a 200-inch TV. It's really not a 200-inch TV unless you have something like a Galaxy XR headset that has big enough screens to make it that huge. But really what these do is any screen that you want, your phone, your Steam Deck, a Switch, if you're willing to plug way too many cables into it, you put these glasses on and now all of a sudden that screen, instead of looking down or looking at your laptop screen, it's in front of your face, it's big, it's open, and it's always there. Whether I turn my head to the left or the right, it stays with me. And as simple as that sounds, it's actually pretty cool. Imagine playing any video game you want in the car with a giant screen. You're no longer stuck to the tiny screen
Hopefully
of the Steam
not while
Deck.
you're driving.
While you're driving, you can see through these things. No, you should not do that. But you could. You could do it.
Don't turn down the brightness and then just drive around.
Please don't do that.
it's definitely, I would not call it AR, but it's kind of a halfway between what VR is. You put your Quest on, you can change the world around you, you can see past her and look through around you, you can see past her and add a screen. If you've never done that, you can watch a YouTube video while you're doing your dishes, looking through your Quest. This, you can do the same thing, but with a lot less weight, a lot less bulk. Unfortunately, it's always cabled. There's not battery in here. There's not processing enough in here. This is basically a set of screens that straps to your eyes, but it feels kind of like a halfway between this and the Meta Ray-Ban displays I tried that are an actual screen inside of it that is its own power and computing and everything inside. But yeah, these are the Tazo Viso Z1s, which are not out yet. They might be by the time this podcast goes out. I don't know. I don't have a price because they're not out yet. But there's been multiple versions of these. You had a whole other set.
Yeah, Rocket or Rocket. No one really knows how to pronounce that. They've got a set out there. Vitcher is one that I had for a while that were really cool. The nice thing about the Vitcher is they had some software that went with them, so you could freeze a screen in place and look at the rest of the world and not see it and then look back and it was there. What that's good for is if something is larger on a screen and you want to see the corner, you can actually see the corner of it. But I don't know, really cool device. You can connect them to just about anything. It's an instant connection to at least iPhone, and you're watching Netflix on a 100-inch screen. You had a little bit more trouble, I think, with Android.
Yeah, we got it to work, but ideally Samsung, not Motorola, Android. But yeah, that's another idea too. If you're on a plane, you can have these on your face. You can be watching your shows and movies in these on a gigantic screen instead of holding your phone up or looking down. Like, you just have these on your back and there's just a screen. You can watch these in bed.
Yeah.
They have audio that comes out of the sides. You played a little bit of the game today on here while we were walking down the street.
Yeah. Vampire Survivor. It was pretty fun. And I sometimes get motion sickness with stuff, but I didn't get motion sick playing it while walking. And it was really bright outside and I could see the display completely fine. Like it was like, yeah, I could totally see it. And I could see everything around me too. So I was safe to not walk into the street or anything. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Probably looks kind of, the glasses themselves look pretty good.
They're getting better.
It's just
you go back a few generations and it was awkward looking, but they're getting better and everything's getting a little smaller.
They look
looking more
pretty
natural.
Sunglasses-y.
Yeah.
And for those of you listening, you can't see, but if you're here on the video, you can see I'm wearing them right now. They're not turned on. So if they were turned on, you'd kind of see these little tiny outlines of screens inside. But someone could wear this and you would think they're just wearing some weird steampunk glasses walking around. They look sunglasses enough. I don't know if they're actually rated at all for being outside in the sun, though. I might have been frying my eyes, letting the sun in through these while I was walking around. But they're getting to the point where these look reasonable. Besides the cable side, they're starting to look like actual glasses, just like the Ray-Ban displays. They look like chunky glasses, but we're not far.
They're not even that chunky.
These really aren't.
The nice thing is each of us could have a set. Each of us could be on a Steam Deck or a phone, and the three of us can sit here and Jay could watch a movie. Nat and I could be playing a game, and there's no interference with anyone. I'm not really hearing their audio. They're not seeing my video. It's just a private movie theater is the way I kind of look at it. So when I had the Vitcher glasses, I would actually go to bed and my wife would be sitting there next to me just scrolling through her phone, and I'd be watching a movie, and we were there, but we were also individual.
Yeah. You're still together, but you can do other things without having to I'm going to go watch a movie in the theater room because that's where the big screen is. And then you can be together, and some people are going to be like, you're not together if you're doing separate stuff, but you're still in the same room. You're still in the same proximity. It's a cool feature about them. And it's showing a future of what a lot of us have thought for a long time. VR eventually would get to where you have a pair of glasses that can immerse you, but aren't a Quest. Quest is a chunky headset to have on. It's not light or easy or...
And the solid rumor is that Meta is working on a Quest 4 that is some kind of a form factor like this, where it's a chunky set of glasses with a cord going to your power supply, and it's no longer a giant, uncomfortable, hot, sweaty thing on your head. And that's going to bring in so many people.
It's possible. And the question with these things is, since they are halfway, like, will people buy them? Do you need a pair of these? Why? I keep saying these so far, if you have a Steam Deck, these seem like something you kind of, because they just pair so perfect. You plug it in, it instantly gives you this big screen. Like, they're really cool for that. For a phone, I'm probably going to use these anytime I'm traveling. Like on a plane, it'll be nice to watch these if there's not a screen in front of you. So much nicer to sit back with a pair of glasses instead of having to like hold my phone up or try and get into the thing somehow. They're definitely a luxury, but once you have them and you start to use them, kind of like even my Ray-Bans that don't have a screen in them, once you use them more, you start to realize how great they are.
Yeah. And
then you go, oh man, because I didn't think about like putting away laundry in our closet. Like if I could have these on and watch a show and from my phone in my pocket and have these on while I'm like folding and putting away laundry, way better experience than trying to like have one in the other room.
True.
Like,
I'm going to try that because I usually will like set up my phone or something while I'm doing laundry, and I'll have like headphones on or something. I can hear it, but I'm like looking over and stuff. Like, yeah, I definitely think like glasses like this are cool for making chores a little less boring.
And the price point, typically I've seen them somewhere in the $250 range on the low end to maybe $550 on the very high end for the cutting edge stuff that's coming out. But honestly, it doubled or tripled my Steam Deck usage, just because sometimes on that screen, I can't see what I want to see. And then you put on those glasses and now it's 100 inches plus and I can see everything I want to see.
And the other thing about these glasses, most of them have, unlike any freaking VR headset for some reason, diopter adjustments.
Yes.
Which means if you're someone who wears glasses, you can put these on without glasses on, and you can adjust the little knobs and see it clearly.
And it goes to like -6, for a prescription.
It's a broad range.
It's pretty good.
Like it's going to cover probably 98% of people who wear glasses with these. And like, why it still is no VR headset had that?
I don't understand
It's
that.
crazy to me.
It was in like Gear VR. Come on.
Yeah. There's a company out there, I forget their name, and they for some reason won't send them to me, but they actually are selling diopter lens inserts. So it's not that expensive to get it done. These are built right in.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been like the HTC Vive Focus Eye, one of the really weird ones. It's like one of the only ones that had a 0 through 6 dial on either eye that you could adjust for your eyes. And that means anyone can put that set on, adjust it to their vision, see it clearly, no glasses, no contacts. I got LASIK because I was so sick of VR and all that crap. I was like, I can't do this anymore. It's crazy that all of these for some reason have it. And VR, yes, there's stereoscopic vision and all these things. It does make it more complicated. But if some company can make a set that just snaps in, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
It's not as hard as they're making it seem.
I'm going to get a hold of them again.
Yeah.
I want them.
Yeah, because it's just everyone can use it then.
Yeah. And honestly, for me personally, I use prescription lens inserts in my Quest 3. And then recently I had an eye surgery and it changed my vision. So now I have to get a whole new set. If it had the diopters built in, I could just roll it over to where it needs to be. And when handing it from someone else, because we all love showing off VR to other people, when handing it to someone else, it's so nice to just give it a little twist and it's crystal clear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and with these, on like a lens insert, they're on the top, so everybody does it while they have them on. They don't have to take them off and mess with them, put them back on. Like you put on, you say, okay, put these on, move these till it's clear, and then they're good to go. Mm-hmm. There is some issues with these. We're not trying to do a full review here, so we'll kind of keep it short. But one thing with all of them that we've tried, I don't know why they open up just fine like glasses, but they don't let you tilt the screen up or down in the front, which is what you need. So like me and Assassin both are like taking them off the outside of our ears and putting them over on top of our ears instead of above our ears, because that's the perfect angle. Not that. And I don't know why all of them seem to miss that link, that's something they need to have as an adjustment to tilt, because all of our head shapes are different and weird. And most of us, if you look at a human being and really look, our ears aren't level either. And without the ability to adjust the arms to make them level, they're going to be a little crooked and stuff. So they've got a ways to go.
And there's a few companies, maybe one or two, but they are making kind of on the hinge that does rotate, but not everyone's doing that. So someone needs to come out with the ultimate set that's got hinges that rotate, diopters on there. I think it was Vitcher had the button you could press that would automatically, it had a film over the lenses that would blacken out everything, so you're completely isolated. Someone that comes out with all those on one set of glasses, they've got my money.
They're set. Yeah. News, stuff we're playing with. We got to talk about games while we're here. We are a VR gaming podcast, and even though there's doom and gloom and stuff, we're still playing games. FitXR, not exactly a game. Fitness we've talked about here before, but that is something now the whole studio here is doing pretty much every day together, getting some exercise, getting some fitness. And now with the new Supernatural is going bye-bye, FitXR is probably in a spot to be the top VR fitness app out there. And it's kind of the reason we're getting into the headset every single day. What about an actual game?
I have been
You say the same 3 games you say every podcast.
No, we're branching out. I normally stay away from shooters because I'm the guy that goes in there and gets like 1 kill and 14 deaths. But now I'm getting 1 kill and 14 deaths in Forefront. I've been playing it pretty much every chance I get. Love that. And for anyone that hasn't played it, it is if you like Battlefield, you will love Forefront. It's an amazing game.
Basically like a war simulator in VR.
Yep.
Is there vehicles and stuff? Are you just a soldier?
There's vehicles. So this was made by Triangle Factory, the same people that made Breachers. So they know how to make VR games. And it's 16 versus 16. You can squad up with like 4 other people. It's in early access. And you can tell a little bit, but they're coming out with updates every 2 weeks to a month. They've added vehicles. So there is a 4-wheeler. There is kind of a Jeep with a turret mounted to it. Actually, it's a Humvee. They've got helicopters, anything from like the Little Bird all the way up to massive assault helicopters. It's just awesome. You've got 4 different classes: assault, recon, engineer, and medic. And when you have a squad where there's 1 of each and you work well together, you can kill it on that game. Forefront's amazing.
I've heard nothing but good stuff. I haven't tried it personally yet, but it looks good, and everybody who's in it is like, it's so good.
Yeah. It's Battlefield, and Triangle Factory doesn't even shy away from that. When people say it's Battlefield in VR, they say, "Yep, that's what it is."
Also, how have we not played Demio Battle Marked blah 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 long title game yet?
We've been so
how have we not played it yet?
We've been so busy.
Ugh.
I mean,
We
I
would
played
be talking
a little
about that.
bit, but yeah, the new Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, I played the demos and stuff when they came out. Yeah, that's something we got to set up some time
We
to play.
really need to. I'm sure it would take.
But there is new games coming. There's more happening. It's not over yet. Maybe.
One of my favorite games still, Real VR Fishing, just hit 1 million sales.
Yeah.
So they've sold 1 million copies of Real VR Fishing. Get out there and fish, people. It's an incredible game.
Successful, good. I also finally got my new rig mostly tuned, the driving simulator for the PSVR 2 with Gran Turismo 7.
Pretty good.
It just frustrates me that there's not more racing games on PSVR 2 because the original PSVR we had Drive Club, which was like an arcadey racing sim. Gran Turismo 7 was also on it for your realistic ride, but Dirt Rally was on it for the fun, wild dirt racing jumps and everything else. And I loved putting people in that and watching them play that. But even just for Gran Turismo 7, the PSVR 2 with foveated rendering, with this new Thrustmaster T598 that we've got now, it is wild the amount of force feedback that thing has when you crash the car, and it's cool. It is cool. It's such a great way to like put someone in VR that hasn't, as long as you're not going to make them sick, which you might. But yeah, I'm definitely like at the point where I'm like, I really want to spend some real time playing games again. I actually started playing Breath of the Wild, not in VR, because there's a VR mod now where you can fully play it, but I'm like, I feel like I need to remember how to play the game before I go try it in VR, or I'm just going to be like pulling my headset up and Googling and putting it down. That's on my list that I really want to play. So I at least go see the world VR, even if I don't play through the whole game. Like, I love that game, and to suddenly be in it. Weirdly, it's the Wii U version that you are playing.
That's funny.
And modding.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. It's not even the Switch one. It's the Wii U version, but everything so far on the videos I've seen, it look really good. And it's a mod through Flat to VR. So it's like a real mod. It's an unofficial mod. It's not Nintendo supported. So you might need to get on it quick before they try to shut it down. But the way they built it, you can't play it without buying an actual copy of the game. So it is legit. It is a legit mod.
And that's the funny thing. Like, why shut it down? I mean, you're breathing new life into an old game, and it's not costing you anything. As a matter of fact, you're selling more copies because people that didn't have it are now going to go get it, and you have to own the base game legally to install the mods. So it doesn't hurt Nintendo. Just back off and let people do something with it.
Yeah, I don't get Nintendo's logic. They shut down all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't really get why, because it seems like for them it's good. But I guess, I don't know. Maybe they're like really worried that our image is being tarnished by them playing the game this way and it's janky, or there's videos. Maybe they take everything personally on the internet.
Yeah.
There's videos people say, oh, this doesn't work right. And then people think that's our game and it's not our game. Someone else did this. I don't know what the hell their problem
Even
is.
getting these glasses to work with Switch is just kind of crazy. I mean, there's like a Bobo battery set up, and there's all kinds of different pieces of equipment required to get this to work. Whereas Steam Deck, you plug it in.
Yeah, this is the only thing. You just plug it into the Steam Deck. You plug this into a laptop. You plug the glasses into your phone for the most part, and they just snap on. They work. They start running.
Guarantee those glasses are going to sell more Steam games. And if Nintendo made it easy, those glasses would sell more Nintendo games.
That's where now I'm debating. Like, I never wanted a Steam Deck, but I like the idea of playing games on like a plane, on a long plane ride with these glasses, and it's too much trouble with the Switch. Like, I'm not going to go through that much trouble with the Switch to do this. And so it now has me thinking about getting a Steam Deck or something, just so I can like a long international flight is a long flight to try and watch multiple movies or something, keep yourself entertained. Like, but if I can run around Breath of the Wild for 10 hours straight, I probably would.
True.
But it's too much trouble.
With the Steam Deck too, you can hook it up to a dock and dock it to your TV and just play it on your TV. So you and Nat could each have a controller and be playing all your Steam library on a 100-inch TV.
Just hanging out.
I mean, you've got the glasses option, the mobile option, the TV option. It is basically a GameCube light. I mean, it's 1080p. It's not going to be 4K like the GameCube will be, but yeah, the Steam Deck really does open up your entire Steam library to do more stuff.
Absolutely. Well, VR's not dead. Don't let anybody tell you that. It may have taken a big hit. It might be a little wounded at the moment, but that's because it was on steroids for the last 4 or 5 years when it shouldn't have been, and it got way too big, and now the steroids are getting pulled. So
I said it before, Zuck shot VR in the chest and immediately started doing chest compressions. I think that's kind of what's happening. Like, I think VR is going to be healthier in the end.
Yeah, I agree. It is funny too, because people have been saying VR is dead like the entire time. So
the moment I got into VR, I'm seeing thumbnails that say VR is dead. I'm sick of it. And it gets clicks. It totally gets clicks. But I promised to never put out a video that says VR is dead until VR is actually dead.
Titling this podcast VR is dead.
It's totally going to be VR is dead. But it'll be a question mark at the end. I'll be real tricky about it.
No, 3 question marks and an exclamation point, and then a ... just to really sell it. Well, thank you to all of you out there. Sorry it's been a minute. It's been a very, very busy holiday season. I would promise that we'll be back more consistently, but I don't make promises because you just never know. I hope so. I hope this episode even gets out, because we're in a new setup and a new stage, and it may be completely ruined when we try to hit the export button. We'll find out.
It just hit me. We might have to record the whole thing again. You guys have no idea how many episodes we've recorded that you've never seen.
It's horrible.
That's why some people live stream their podcasts. So it's, at least that version exists. We did. Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks for being back. Thanks for hanging out with us. And if you've been thinking about VR a while, maybe hesitate, but maybe still
dive on in.